Hey guys, time for my NXT review from April 24th, 2013, and this is the Clash of the Champions episode. So, let's just get right into it. Start off with Dusty Rhodes in his office, saying, "Welcome to NXT Clash of Champions, baby. An event that is near and dear to my heart, if you will." So he goes on and continues his speech. Commentators for this, William Regal and Tom Phillips. Opening match is Antonio Cesaro defending the U.S. title against Adrian Neville. Now, during this match, not once, but twice, on the bottom of the screen, they put in text that this match was recorded weeks before Cesaro loses the U.S. title. Thanks for telling us. So anyway, this is an incredible match. This was the best match of the show. Neville goes early for the quick win, hitting quick high moves. Almost gets Cesaro within like the first minute of the match about 3 different times. And then Cesaro comes back. He has his offense. Only for Neville to come back, and it's really good. He hits the Hurricane Rana powerbomb, only gets a 2 count, and in the end of the match, Neville climbs the top rope. Cesaro lunges toward the top rope, knocks Neville down, and then he hits Neville with a European uppercut, and then finishes him off with the neutralizer to get the 3 count in the victory in just a fantastic match. A very, very, very good match to start NXT. So after commercial break, we go to our next titles match, and it is for the Divas Championship. AJ Lee defending the title against Caitlyn. Now, I gotta be honest, I liked this match. I thought this was a decent match. The focus is AJ Lee going to work on the arm of Caitlyn throughout the duration of this match. And she does a good job. There's a couple times where she almost wins, but doesn't. And then after, trying to work on the arm, Caitlyn fights back and then hits AJ Lee with a devastating spear to get the 3 count in the victory to retain the NXT title. To the back, Tony Dawson is with Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho says that he's going to be on next week's episode of NXT, but he doesn't have an opponent, so he would challenge anybody on the NXT roster to a match. Well, here comes Bray Wyatt during the middle of this promo, and he gives this talk about, being in the family and all that. And Jericho, he will face Bray Wyatt next week, and he'll even put a little bit something on the line. If Bray Wyatt wins, Chris Jericho will join the Wyatt family, be Crazy Uncle Jericho. So we got a match set for the next episode of NXT. So after another commercial break, we come back, and the NXT Championship is on the line. Big E Langston defends against Brad Maddox, and Brad Maddox does his own introduction, and it's so funny, because Langston comes out first, and then Maddox takes over, and he's like, "His opponent and challenger from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at a chiseled 295 pounds, and your new NXT champion, Brad Maddox." And that's about the most we get, because Big E Langston just destroys Maddox in this match. He just destroys the poor man. Big E Langston wins with the big ending, stays NXT champion, hits the big ending a couple more times, on to Maddox. To the back, Tony Dawson is with Bo Dallas, and they hype up the last match, Bo Dallas challenging Wade Barrett for the Intercontinental title, and they show clips of how we got to this point, starting off with the Royal Rumble, where Bo Dallas eliminated Wade Barrett during the match, and then the next night on Raw, Dallas beating Barrett in a non-title match. So now we go to the match, Intercontinental title on the line, another good match. This was the second best match behind Cesaro and Neville. Barrett and that, each man tried to get the offense early on, but then Dallas comes and he's, punching away at Barrett, hitting these very good clotheslines, sending Barrett to the floor, and then Barrett fights back, hitting a pump handle slam, and then the winds a change, and in Wasteland he's trying everything to beat Bo Dallas, but just can't do it. But Dallas comes back, and in the end of the match, Dallas goes to the top rope, and as he jumps in the middle of it, Barrett gets the bullhammer hit onto Dallas, knocks him out for the 3 count and the victory. Barrett stays the Intercontinental Champion. Now, during this match, this crowd was so anti-Bo Dallas. I mean, most of them. You had the girls screaming for Bo Dallas, but most of them were for Wade Barrett. To be honest, I don't think Bo Dallas is that bad of a wrestler. There's a couple things he lacks, but he's not that bad of a wrestler. But this was another good match. Like I said, second best match behind Cesaro and Neville. Just an incredible match that was. And this is a very good episode of NXT. One that everyone should get a chance to watch. When they do, you will not regret watching this episode of NXT. And the next NXT will have Chris Jericho going up against Bray Wyatt. Will Jericho be joining the Wyatt family?